If we're going to live a victorious Christian life, then we must dethrone sin. Paul shared that idea in Romans 6 and verse 12, when he said, "Therefore, do not let sin reign in your mortal body, that you should obey it in its lusts." Do you realize that sin has no independent authority in your life? In fact, we do not have to obey sin's impulses. We're free to say no to sin and to say yes to God. In fact, the only authority that sin has is the authority that you give it. You see, we sin because we yield our mind to lies, our tongue to gossip, our eyes to lust, and our hands to deception, our bodies to immorality. To live a liberated life, we must dethrone sin. We must exercise our God-given authority and evict sin and its power from our life. You see, when the devil comes knocking on the door of your life, enticing you to sin, or attempting to pollute your mind with lies, evict him. Kick him out of your mind. Kick him out of your life. In fact, you have to kick Satan out of your life and your mind the same way you would kick an unwanted person out of your home. I heard a story of a woman who once allowed a man to move in with her on the premise that he would help her pay half of the bills. The man convinced her they would just live together without marriage, and she foolishly allowed him to move in. But her conscience began to smite her. Not only that, but the man was obnoxious. He was rude. He didn't pay his part of the bargain. And so she told him, "I want you to move out." But the man said to her, "No, we have made a bargain. I'm not going anywhere. You invited me. I'm staying right here." The lady tried everything to get the man to leave the house, but he refused. Finally, she hired a lawyer. He went to the judge, and he got an eviction notice, gave it to the lady, and the lady took that eviction notice back to the man, and she said to them, "Listen, here is a court order requiring you to leave. Either you move out right now and do not come back, or I'm going to call the police." And the man finally left. But you see, that's what we have to do to sin, Satan, and shame when it begins to plague our mind and to tempt our life. We must remind them that by the death of Christ, we have been delivered from the power of sin. And by his burial, we have been released from our sin-stained past. And through his resurrection, we have become a new person, raised to walk in the newness of life. Then we need to say to them, "Listen, you are no longer welcome here. Get out of my house, get out of my mind, get out of my life, and stay out." And if he refuses to leave, then we need to take God's court order, that is his eternal word, and we need to show the devil where God says he has no more authority over you. Listen, you've been set free, and God wants us to live within that freedom. Listen, if this podcast has been a blessing to you, let us know about it. Would you click like? So we can know that you're listening, and we can know that you're being blessed. And also, maybe you want to share this podcast and others with others, then on your Facebook page, just click share and share a blessing. Be a blessing to another. And may God take his word and bless you richly today.